Today's video is about how I capture my photos for Instagram. This is the entire station dedicated to bread. That over there is the cheese room. Like, this is pretty incredible. I don't think I've ever had a breakfast quite like this. There's so many staff on hand to make sure that whatever you need is taken care of. During peak season, they have roughly 350 to 400 staff working to service 35 villas. That's like 10 to 12 people per villa at all times. So check out this honey. Drips down here into this little container, and now you can apply honey onto whatever you need. This is incredible. In case you missed yesterday's vlog, we are staying at Soneva Resort in Koh Kood, Thailand. This is hands down the most beautiful resort I've ever been to in my entire life. It is like 6-star luxury. As much as it looks relaxing, I can't relax, and the reason is I just want to take photos of everything here. I want to find the best shots, get the most creative perspective of what we're doing, and put it on Instagram. As you guys know, Instagram is just as much of a career as working 9 to 5 is these days if you're able to build up a following. Laura and I actually do Instagram as a career. It is our job to put together the best photos, to make things look as good as possible. So whether Instagram is just a hobby that you're looking to improve on, or this is something that you hope to one day turn into a career, Laura and I are gonna share how we turn these awesome travel activities into like-worthy posts. Let's get some followers, let's get shooting.
Christian's trying to film a scene for his video, and accidentally got stuck on the post. Are you okay?
This joke is gonna cost me big time.
Do you have your phone in your pocket?
Yeah.
Really? Do you want help?
When Laura and I are going out on a serious Instagram mission, sometimes we like to pack a second set of clothing, and sometimes even a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Nobody wants to see a feed where you're wearing the exact same clothing in every shot. Fashion. So every now and then, it's good to change clothing. Traditionally, photos have always been taken in the landscape format, so you've got a very wide shot, but not very tall. But now that Instagram is built for cell phones, you want to actually take full advantage of the long photos. This is also known as a portrait shot. Now, 90% of the time, if I'm shooting for Instagram purposes, I'm actually holding my camera like this. Now, the reason is, you actually get way more engagement if you're taking your photo in portrait mode. That's because it actually takes up more space on the person's screen who's following you, and it gives them a better chance of stopping, taking a look at that photo, and actually hitting the like button. Now my next question for you is, how are you going to compose yourself in the photo? There's no wrong answers, but there are several wrong answers. Generally speaking, if you want to have a high quality looking Instagram feed, you're probably going to want to go with more of an authentic look. And that means none of this.
So you don't want to make the photos seem too staged, otherwise it's just not going to look very good. Like, I personally prefer photos that are kind of more candid and natural. I think it gets a better reaction from audiences as well.
You don't really want to always be the guy who's got his arms outstretched, praising the fact that he made it to the top of the mountain. Sometimes that can fit your feed, sometimes you can even do it ironically, but I have to say I like the candid look. I think that that's what's typically quite popular on Instagram, and if you're trying to get your Instagram to a professional or amateur level, the candid look is generally the one you're going to want to go for.
Also, if you're wondering how exactly to pose in bikini photos without feeling awkward or making your body look as good as possible, I actually did an entire video on my channel about how to pose in bikini photos, and you guys will see the before and after. It does make a world of difference, so it's going to be linked down below if you guys want to check it out.
Just to clarify, we are candidly not candid. Everything is actually posed, but you kind of give the vibe that there's a photographer taking a photo. You didn't even realize he or she was there. That's the vibe you try to give off. That's what I try to do with my feed. The next tip is to change perspectives. Always try to push the boundaries. Try to find new creative ways to portray the same scene that other people are doing. Most of the time, people take their photos standing on their 2 feet, just snapping the picture in a convenient and easy way. What few people try to do is to change the actual angle that they're taking the photo from. One of the ways they can do that is literally getting on their knees. Another way is getting on top of the subject. That sounded a little weird. Even having a little bit of something in the side of the shot, like let's say it's a leaf in the way of the subject, that can sometimes help change up the shot and allow you to have more creative expression on the scene. My personal favorite way to add that creative touch is actually choosing my lens. You can do a lot to change the scene by choosing your lens. One of the things that blew me away about Soneva is that we got to our resort, and not only did we have this massive sprawling villa here, but just behind me here, you have a staircase going down to your own private slice of the beach. So let's go check that out and continue our Instagram tutorial. One of the main things of Instagram that we're not gonna cover today, because that could be a full 3 video series, is editing. This is, you know, a kind of cool scene. Yesterday though, we were here when it was darker, there was less green popping out of the leaves, and yet we still managed to turn this rather semi-interesting scene into something that was extremely beautiful and captivating. And that right there is the power of editing. It's not something you learn overnight, it's something that we've learned by editing day in, day out for the past few years now. There's some incredible tutorials, and I hope to bring my own tutorials very soon. Click, 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 click. And then when it was time to edit the photo, we took all the photos off the memory card, we selected the one that looked the most natural, the one that had the best lighting, and that was the photo we decided to color grade, and that is the one that will be living on Laura's Instagram. By the way, check out our Instagrams. It's at Lost LeBlanc for myself, and for Laura's, it's at Laura Reed. We've got a few more tutorial tips just coming up. Also, this right here, a tripod. Find yourself a trusty, lightweight tripod. It will make your life a whole lot easier. All my equipment is also linked down below if you want to see what I'm actually using. There's a monkey in the tree.
And a giant rat.
What the heck? I didn't realize there's monkeys here. We're scouting an actual Instagram photo that Laura will be posting.
So what I'll do is I'll actually take my hands and I'll actually frame out the Instagram photo, like right here, this slice.
9 times out of 10, my favorite photos are the ones that have beautiful colors in them, and we are blessed to be in an environment that has a wide array of greens, blues. Right now I'm gonna show you the importance of having the right equipment to set the scene that you want, and we're gonna start off by showing you what it looks like by using the different lenses I have with the camera staying in the exact same place. So we're gonna set the tripod up. The only thing that will be changing is the lens. This could easily be turned into a multiple part series. I've got a lot more to say, but to keep it short, one of the other important things is the grid. So you can look at someone's individual photos and love their photos, but something that I've personally been trying to work on recently, and I think is really key to having a premium and like top-notch Instagram feed, is to actually make sure that your photos work together. I like to think that it's good to have variation. So if you post a blue photo, it's great to follow it up with a different color. Unless your entire feed is blue, it's good to follow patterns. So maybe you go blue photo, followed by green photo, followed by kind of like a rustic brown color. And like, by doing this, your feed actually looks a lot more vibrant, a lot more colorful. Now the exception being, if your entire feed is blue, well then that's fine, you keep posting those blue photos. But if you go blue photo, followed by blue tone photo, followed by brown photo, it might look a bit odd. It would have looked better if you put the brown photo in between the 2 blue photos. And also it's great to change it up with the length of the shot. So if you use a panoramic view, odds are good you're shooting a wide angle shot. So that means that everything in the foreground is far away. The photo feels big. Then it's awesome to change it up with maybe a close-up shot or a medium shot, meaning that the subject is fairly close to the camera, or at least feels it. It's good to change up with focal lengths, with colors, and to kind of have a bit of a pattern. So go back and forth from narrow shot, wide shot, followed by medium shot, followed by wide shot, just kind of changing it up, and you'll see that the best Instagrammers tend to do this. I myself have only just recently started working on the overall look of my grid. I would say it's still in its rather prepubescent stages. Every day I get even closer to my dream Instagram feed. I'm still learning as I'm going with it. Every day I pick up new tastes and new preferences for how I edit. And the last thing I'll say is your theme. Once you've chosen a theme, I think it's always a good idea to stick to it for a while. That's where people find their strengths, is by doing one thing really well. And you'll find the people who also like that theme, and they'll latch on to your Instagram. If you change your theme, you might actually alienate people who followed you in the first place. If you don't do something long enough, you won't be known as the best at something. And that's generally how you get ahead on social media, no matter what platform you're doing. It's always good to find your theme and stick to it. If you're curious what equipment I'm using, then check out the links down below. The camera I'm currently filming on is an amazing video and photo camera, but if you're just looking for photography, check that other link down below. That is my #1 recommendation for a strictly photography camera. Now we're gonna do a live stream on Instagram. Make sure to follow me on Instagram.
And me!
And Laura. And let's get comfy here at Soneva. So right now we are walking to high tea, and apparently the high tea, although cool, is made extremely cool by where it's held. So let's go find out. So this might be even different than we expected. It sounds like there's a surprise in store. It involves zip lines. We're going up in there. Yes. Oh my gosh. When I say I had no idea, I literally had no idea. I thought we were just doing high tea. It turns out we were doing high tea in this little pod that just got lowered from the sky. We're about to get raised back up there.
You wanna come sit up? Wait.
All the way up. And we're gonna have some high tea in a tree house. See you soon.
Oh my gosh!
Here we go! Up into the sky. Show us life goals.
This is so cool.
Wow.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
See you. Woo! There he goes. Our waiter just ziplined away to go get us some tea so he can zipline back. This is the most interesting out there thing I've ever done, I think. Hey!
Celestial surprise before your eyes. Impossible is nothing.
Yeah. Ready? We're gonna try to fly the drone through this little opening so that we can get the most epic video photo ever. But we're like surrounded by trees. It's not giving me much room for error. My heart's beating. Don't try this at home. If your home looks like this, also we should talk.
Over there, girl. Why don't you come over here?
I'm stoked we got that shot. I was really nervous about it, but I think it turned out pretty well.
Sit up with my boys. You chillin' with your girls, girl. And I bet you weren't as pretty as your girls, girl. Physically, you don't have to remember me, but don't forget my energy. Feel where I'm coming from.
So we just had dinner. It was a taste of Asia, and basically it was everything that you could possibly imagine from India, Japan, China, all the best Asian foods in one incredible buffet. The level of luxury is just beyond anything I've ever seen. So we're having the best time, to say the least.
And we're so grateful to be here.
Yeah. Huge thanks to Soneva Resort. And guys, let's get lost again in the next video. Also, I got one more thing to say. If you want to see more Instagram tutorials, stuff like that, I have way more to say, and I could easily make another video out of it. So let me know if that's something of interest. And
check out my bikini hacks.
Check out Laura's bikini hacks and hit that thumbs up. Let's get lost in the next one.